This is Pastor Coach Anthony McKissick Sr. This is the Live with the Max. This is
Liana McKissick.
And we are just going to introduce you all to Be the Ram Global Fellowship. Kind of a little teaser for what we're launching this Sunday. We're going to kind of go through a couple of our beliefs and things that we're just grounded in. We're going to introduce our families. We're going to answer questions from the live. We're going to do pretty much, welcome y'all. As you can see, these shirts, it is Juneteenth. Power to the people, power to our people, power to everybody's people. And hey, let's start off by introducing our family. First, myself, I'm Pastor Coach Anthony McKissick Sr. There's a bunch of stuff. I do almost everything. That's why I got a bunch of titles. I'm not dropping them. I'm not hung on a title, but I'm not going to drop it either. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a son. I'm a brother. I'm an uncle. I'm a friend. I'm a lot of things. And I'm the lucky man of this wonderful woman here who will introduce herself.
Hello, my name is Lady Liana McKissick, and I am, of course, the wife of Pastor, but I am a teacher. I teach math in Fulton County, and I'm also a wellness advocate, and I teach classes about essential oils or tell people more about essential oils. We have 3 children that you're going to see in just a few moments. I'm kind of an open book, so we have questions, always willing to answer questions. I'm a mother, I'm a sister, I'm a wife, I'm a friend. I can be your loudest cheerleader, and I love Jesus.
I do too. And first we will introduce our oldest, the firstborn, the lovely, the athletic, the beautiful, the ever so happy Jerica, Miss Queen 800 McKissick. Come on up, Jerica. Just introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about you.
I'm Jerica McKissick. I'm 14. I go to Creekside High School. This is my dad that started the church, of course, obviously. And I play sports. I run track and play volleyball. And yeah.
Anything else we should know about you?
I'm really quiet, so yeah.
All right, she's the quiet one. I was too at 14. Up next, we have the second coming of Anthony McKissick, which is AJ McKissick. Come on down, AJ.
Hi, my name is AJ McKissick. I like playing sports. I don't like going to school because I get in trouble at school sometimes. I play basketball and football. I like going to church. And that's it.
What's your favorite sport?
Football.
Football? Mm-hmm. Why football?
I don't know.
What grade you go to again? You say that?
5th grade.
What school you go to?
Lakers Elementary School.
And who is your favorite sports player?
I don't have one.
Who is your favorite character from the Bible?
Jesus.
Jesus? Okay, that's what's up. All right, last but not least, the awesome Amani Sauce McKissick. Come on down, Amani. You can sit in your mommy's lap. Oh, there you go, right there. Tell us about you, Amani. Introduce yourself.
I'm really loud.
You're loud, but you're not loud right now.
What my name is?
Tell us your name.
Amani Lola McKissick.
Amani Lola McKissick. What else?
I like macaroni and cheese.
You like macaroni and trees?
And cheese.
Okay, what grade are you going to?
1st grade.
You play any sports?
Soccer.
What else do you do for fun?
Mess with Jerica.
You mess with Jerica, so it's fun for you and not fun for her. Okay, so this is the McKissick family. We are the first family, and we are serve you all. So we hold Juneteenth shirts. AJ has the Juneteenth with the whole United States, and we're putting him out the picture. And then we have Jerica, who's going to come up here and show you her Juneteenth shirt. And we're going to throw her out. And then Amani, show us your Juneteenth shirt. And she didn't show us, but that's perfectly fine. So she came back, Juneteenth. So that is the introduction of our family. And up next we have what?
So the next question that we have is, what is the history behind the name Be the Ram Global Fellowship?
Okay, the history behind the name Be the Ram Global Fellowship. If you are a reader of the Bible, or if you have even heard the story of Abraham and Isaac, Abraham took Isaac to a mountain, and he was going to sacrifice him. Isaac was the son that he was the son of prayer, the son of promise. He was going to sacrifice Isaac, and when he got up to the top of the mountain, he held up a sword or a knife or a dagger or whatever it is in that time of day, and right before he was about to, hit it on down, there was a ram in the bush, and that ram was the sacrifice in place of Isaac, his son. So what we have here is we have a ram being in that bush. And the whole emphasis of our fellowship and our ministry is that we want to be that ram in someone else's bush. We want to be that source of help. We want to be like, man, if I had have never met Lady Mac, I don't know where my life, I was at the end of this journey. I was ready to go play in traffic. And then I met Lady Mac and my life changed. It could be that I met Ashley, or I met John, or I met whoever you are being a part of this fellowship. We just want to help you become that ram in the bush.
The next question is, adding on to that, our founding scripture is Genesis 22:13. The next question is how do we feel about outreach and why? So I'll start with that one. So outreach is probably one of our main focuses in Be the Ram Global Fellowship. Outreach started for me at a very young age. So growing up, my mother, my grandmother, and other people around me kind of always had me involved in some form of outreach. And so growing up, I really thought that's what everybody did. I thought that everybody participated in, giving to the homeless, participated in feeding people that were in line for voting. My grandmother used to make dinners and, feed people that were in line to vote at our church, giving away school supplies, giving away clothing. I just thought this was things that we all were supposed to do. I didn't realize that not everybody participated in that. So it's just been in me ever since I was growing up. And so I still continue outreach. Some outreach I do behind the scenes. So it's a lot of things that we have done as far as outreach is concerned, and everyone doesn't know about it. But the people who benefit from it, those are the ones who really need to know. So outreach has been ingrained in me. It's about what you can do for other people, because we have all these resources on the earth, and they're not meant for us to just keep these resources to ourselves. We can go out, collect these resources, and then share them with those who need them.
So my story is a little bit different. I'm from Opelika, Alabama, and, I had hardworking parents, but we weren't, she's from Detroit, big city. We are a city in Opelika. I grew up in Columbus, and we weren't necessarily well off. They weren't either, I'm not saying that. However, I kind of held on to what I had. When I got stuff, I wanted to keep it. Like I'm not a hoarder, but I can keep some stuff. And I wasn't really a giver. I gave my tithes and offering because it was taught to me at a young age, but I wasn't into giving away my stuff. I'm the youngest of three brothers, so, we're stingy. That's just part of the nature of being the youngest. However, I can say that my point of view kind of changed on that when one of my assistant coaches, Toynetta Johnson, we have a camp. every year we want to do some type of community service. So I posed the idea, okay, well, we'll go give to a homeless shelter. And she said, no, what I want you to do is we need to go out there in the street. We need to go out in the community, which, all right, fine, unstaged, no type of script or anything. So we all went out there with the guys. It happened to be about 11 o'clock at night, which is probably not a good idea. However, my wife makes blessing bags, and we usually do that during Christmas. So we took those blessing bags and we went out into the community, downtown Atlanta, and we started handing them out. And it was so life-changing because I saw how, we complain about the internet not working or my phone cracked again for the third time in a week. And we complain about those things. However, these people are sleeping under a bridge. And just seeing the young guys who are on my team, just how it changed their lives by seeing someone with less than them we're giving out a bag and, for them, it was like they got the world in their hands. And you even saw some of the homeless people divvy out between each other. So they took what they had and gave it to the other, making sure everybody had. So just the fact that seeing that changed my mind. Like I said, and I was probably about 36, 35 at the time, probably 35, 34. And that's when my whole mentality of outreach changed. So that's kind of going along with what I see. And if you guys want to ask questions, you have comments, you can ask them. And at the end, we're going to address them. I see some power to the people from Coach Jones. Coach Candace Jones from Power to the Peoples, and Brock Brown, my brother from way back in Winfield, Shamika Jones from Columbus. Appreciate all of y'all. But we're going to get any questions you have, ask it, and we're going to make sure to get to it at the end.
So the next question, how do you feel about giving? So having a low overhead, high outreach.
So our whole emphasis on giving. We are a tithing church. We believe in tithes, and it starts from the top. We tithe. I've always tithed. I tithe off of my gross. That means the first fruits, the highest, before Uncle Sam gets it. What you believe in is what you believe in. Some people only believe in tithing off the net. Some people believe in tithing their time. We are a tithing church. We do believe in tithe and offering. We will collect tithes if you give it. Am I going to put you out for not giving it or post your name on the internet or on the bulletin board? No. However, we have established a level that we have a very high, very low overhead. That way we can have a very high presence in the community. So if we're not spending so much money on high mortgage and high bills, we're able to use the tithes, which is to build up the storehouse, to actually be a storehouse so that we can go out into the community and really make a difference. There's so much stress on pastors. There's so much stress on ministries to pay bills because the overhead is so high that they really do want to help. They just can't. They're not in a position to help. They really want to give, and some pastors, some ministries will give so much of themselves that they have nothing left. And what we're doing, we've established a level that our overhead is very low, which means we don't have a whole lot of bills and money going out of the church, and our underhead is very high. So you're going to see us in the community. You're going to see, so pretty much you're going to see almost instant fruit of your fruit.
And to add on to that, I mean, it's right now we're talking about low overhead because it's virtual. We're virtual, so right now there is no building. Eventually there will be, and even at that point, we're still hoping to still be able to be as impactful in the community as we are currently right now. Going virtual, like I said, we won't have the same bills that some other churches have. And so, we're able to kind guys and our friends that come in, and then even in some cases may be able to team up with other ministries, and kind of, if we kind of share a similar community or a close community, we can team up with those other ministries and give back as well.
Yeah.
So what does it mean to win the 97%?
Winning the 97%. That's kind of the whole emphasis and the whole thing that we stand for. Most of you watching are Christians. Most. I'm sure it's not all. Most of you all, especially our people, you have memories of being in church a long time. My family, me and my brother Donnie, when I stayed at my daddy's house for the summer, we knew Aunt Jean was coming. We knew Aunt Alicia was coming. We knew Aunt Annette was coming. And those are three people that we had to avoid at about 6 o'clock because they was picking you up for church. So we would go hide in the woods. We would go wherever we could because we just wanted to play basketball. We did not want to be in church all day long. So because we understood that what we did outside of church, held more weight than what we were going to do into the building. We weren't going to go and cry on the floor. We weren't going to dance around the church. We wasn't going to sing. We was going to sit in the back, and we was going to do whatever they told us to do. So winning the 97%, the majority of Christians, the majority of whatever faith you're in, you're only in church 3%, and we talk about hours of a week. You're only in church 3% of the week, 3% of the hours. So you can fake the funk for that 3%. What we want to do is help you win the 97% of hours that you're not in the building, that you're not in front of the pastor, that you're not in front of your saved folks that's holier than thou. We understand that some of that 97%, you're going to be mad. Some of that 97%, your boss is going to say something to you. Your friend's going to say something to you. Somebody might say something to you on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, MySpace, Black Planet, whatever you're on, and you got to know how to respond. What we want to do is help you say, you know what? I could have lost that 1%. I could have lost when they said something. The old me would have cussed you out. The old me would have knocked you out. But I have learned to win the 97%. What I want to do and what we're trying to do is make sure that I shouldn't have to tell you that I'm a pastor. I shouldn't have to tell you that I'm saved. She shouldn't have to tell a guy that she's married. By the way she walks, the 97% or whatever percent of time that she's not with me should say, I'm a married woman. It shouldn't, she shouldn't have to say it. So what we want to do is stop saying I'm saved because I go to blah, blah, blah Baptist church. They should say it's something different about that person because how they act, how they interact with people, how they respond. So that's kind of what we mean by winning the 97%. You want to add to that?
Yes. So the 97%, that's that time, like you said, outside of church. So it's your walk. It's your light. So there should be something that's different. Now, are you going to always get it right? No. But there is still something that's different about you. I've had several, situations where I've had people come up to me after the fact and they're like, and this is as far as coworkers, I'm a school teacher, coworkers and even students. They're like, Ms. McKissick, coach, how did you not respond when, this person did this or that person did that? And so my thing was, I'm trying to represent as best I can. So I'm trying to continue to be the light. It's not saying that I'm perfect because I'm far from it, but if I constantly remember that 97%, if I constantly remember that I might be the only representation of Jesus that somebody gets to see, then that kind of makes me think twice before I respond in the way that the old me would have responded. And the old me it's not that she's gone away. It's just that she has a little bit more home training now. She knows Jesus a little bit better. Because I've been on this walk and I'm not quite where I should be. I'm not where I used to be. I'm somewhere in the middle. So fellowship times and locations.
Fellowship times and locations. Right now, we will have Sunday fellowship from 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're in Alabama, that's 9, going all the way back to the other side. 10 a.m. to 12. On Wednesdays, we'll have our virtual Be the Ram Bible study. And we'll do that from 7 o'clock p.m. to 8 o'clock p.m. It's on Eastern Standard Time, ET, not CT. So we're really going to start at 7 o'clock p.m. and we will be done at 8 o'clock p.m. So how do you get on there? You go to www.betheram.com and you'll see events and it'll say Bible study. And you just go in and you enter, it'll give you a code and a reminder to go on the Zoom call. So you'll just kind of be in a Zoom call with whoever you're on there with, and we'll probably touch bases on what we're talking about that Sunday. So you'll have an opportunity to have a face-to-face, wherever you are. You can also go just to the website. It'll be streaming. We'll probably have it on Facebook and some things like that. So there's plenty of ways that you can participate. We know we're in the middle of 2 pandemics. Some people don't want to leave the house. Some people can't leave the house. So now you have an opportunity to still be effective, still have fellowship, and still, have some face-to-face and not be face-to-face. Right now we are distant, but we're still connected.
Global community of believers and those still on the journey, fellowship and outreach, distant yet connected.
So what we mean by a global community of believers and those still on the journey. What we're trying to create, a lot of people, they throw global in their title. We've had this idea of being Be the Ram Global Fellowship long before the pandemic. It just so happened the way God worked it out is that people are more accepting to be in a global community now because now they realize how close we really are. Even though we're far apart, what happens in another country directly affects us. You saw that with COVID-19. You saw that the map started here, then it jumped. You saw that with the social injustice. Something happened in Minnesota. We reacted in Atlanta. We reacted in LA. We reacted in Chicago. We reacted in New York. Now you see in every country, you see people protesting, saying Black Lives Matter. That wouldn't have happened 5 years ago. So now you know that being global is a possibility. I had a serious pain on the left side of my head. I had to go get an MRI on my brain. And I had a TikTok family. I call it my TikTok family. And we had over 4,000 people to call my name out in prayer. God, please heal Anthony. Over 4,000. And this wasn't, believe it or not, the majority of the people, they didn't look like us. It wasn't the family members. It wasn't the people that I coached. It wasn't the people that we gave to. It was red hat people. It was rednecks. It was whites, blacks, Hispanics. It was Asians. It was people from Bangladesh. It was people from China. It was people from South America, Canada. It was almost every state. They were praying. From Australia the other day. Someone commented, I'm praying all the way from Australia. So what we're trying to do is be distant, but we're still connected. You'll have an opportunity to fellowship with us no matter where you are. Once we go into our physical building, we're still going to be virtual. We're still going to allow you to help. Here's the cool part about it. When we have our outreach, you'll still be able to give outreach where you're at. You're just going to do it under the name Be the Ram Global Fellowship. Yeah, we have several ideas, but just an example of that. If we're going to do haircuts, and haircuts is the outreach for that week, and we're doing it bi-monthly. If we decide we're going to do haircuts, you can be in Chicago, and you can say, you know what, I'm a member of Be the Ram Global Fellowship, and our outreach is haircuts. So we're going to connect you with a barbershop that you can go and maybe purchase haircuts for 10 essential workers, and we want to buy essential workers lunch. You can do that wherever you are. If you're stuck in the house because of social distancing, you'll be able to, send an essential worker that you know a meal. There's, DoorDash and there's Uber Eats. There's so many ways that you'll still be able to globally fellowship.
And to add on to that, so while, we'll use tithes and offerings to perform outreach, you can do the outreach right where you are. So it doesn't have to come to Be the Ram Global Fellowship and then go out. You can do the outreach right where you are, right in your hometown, right in your community. And then we just want to hear about it. If you want to take a picture, you can. You don't have to. But we just want to hear about it so that we know what's going on. That way we can inspire others, to say, hey, I'm a part of this church virtually, but this is what we're doing. And then we can share those things. And I know some people don't agree with pictures of outreach. And I can understand that if it's to exploit the person or to get likes, then I do understand the issue with that some people may have with that. For me, sharing certain pictures about outreach has to deal with inspiring others and that whole thing about being connected. Because I might not have, the thought I got from blessing bags was because somebody posted a picture. So had I not seen that picture, I would not have been inspired to do the blessing bags. And then those groups of men and women that his basketball team were able to bless would have never been blessed. So I do understand some people don't agree with posting pictures of outreach, but at the same time, I do believe that it kind of begins this kind of chain of giving back and chain of outreach. It's not about exploitation, so that's not what we support. That's not what we agree with at all. We're completely just about outreach. And you might decide that you don't want to take a picture, and that's perfectly fine as well. There's certain situations where you just help to help. We don't have pictures of every single thing that we've done. We don't have pictures of every meal that we provided, every uniform we purchased. We don't have pictures of all of that. But what I'm saying is just here and there, just some pictures that you're willing to share, just to kind of inspire the outreach.
I think we have maybe one more point. That's it.
Oh, we have, one more, and then if there's any questions. So join us for the series number 1, Overcoming Testing Anxiety.
All right, we're down to our last point. So if you have questions, you need to go ahead and comment in there so we can answer them. But we are inviting you. We are launching our fellowship in our church this Sunday, Be the Ram Global Fellowship, on Father's Day. It is a joint Father's Day gift to my father, Donnie McKissick Sr., who is a cancer survivor who's still fighting strong. Her father, Victor Gray, another cancer survivor who's fighting strong. And so we thought, hey, what better time, what better gift to our fathers to see their kids go in ministry. If you believe and you're a believer, the reason you have kids is to enhance the kingdom. What better gift to a father is to see your kids enhancing the kingdom. So we are both kids, sons, daughters of cancer survivors. They don't have cancer, or cancer didn't have them. Let's put it like cancer was just something that was in their lives. That when they're ready to do whatever they need to do, but it won't be because somebody else said. So we're inviting you to join us this Sunday. Right now, you may catch it there too. But we're series, and the series is testing, overcoming. What we're going through right now, this pandemic. Number one, COVID. Hey, that's anxiety when taking tests. You get nervous. You all waiting normal functions. We get anxiety. We don't know, we know what we should do, but in your right mind, you may run. you may that are coming through this process that we're in right now. Even being virtual is a test. So I'm not going to, preach you to death. I'm not going to talk, a long time. But you will have an opportunity. We'll have praise and worship. We'll have some Father's Day shout outs. We'll have something for everybody. It'll be online. We're going to stream it on all the social media platforms. Make sure that you go in, you like this, you share it, you comment. If you feel like somebody needs to be down with a ministry like this, you already know who I am. I'm transparent. You know me. My wife is from Detroit, so that says enough. Like she not from outside of Detroit. She's from Detroit.
Yes, west side of Detroit.
And be wanting me to go
exact.
visit. No, I'm trying to stay home. I'm trying to make it back. So, I'm good. Yeah, I send Miss Alfreda some money, Miss Gray, Miss Frida. I do whatever I need to do let me stop for all my Detroit. I had Detroit people, McKissick from Detroit too, so, it's double-sided. But if you think that, we're not judgmental. We don't care who you woke up next to. We don't care who you went to bed next to. We don't care who you voted for. We don't care what your bank statement says. Only thing we care about is preaching Jesus and loving people. It's not our job as a church to judge you. However, it is our job to prepare you for judgment. So what you can't do is say that Pastor Coach and Lady Mac didn't prepare you. That will be on us. We ain't going to judge you. We're going to prepare you for the judgment. We all got to answer at the end of the day. So now we'll go to the questions or any comments. I will look here on Facebook. We got Coach Jones. Happy Juneteenth. If you don't know what Juneteenth is, Google it. You should be barbecuing. You should be doing something. Brock Brown, once again. Brock Brown is a pastor in Winfield, Kansas. That goes back to my Winfield roots. And if you know anything about Winfield, Kansas, Brock Brown looks like me. He could be my big little brother. I don't know if he's bigger than me or not. And being a black man in ministry in Winfield, Kansas, at an AME church, I take my hat out to you. Shug Jones, I see you with your positivity. The things that you've been doing lately on live, I'm proud of you. I don't know if you still go by Shug, but I encourage you to continue to do what you've been doing. You coming out of Columbus. That says a lot. Moet, appreciate you. You've always been supportive. We know that you will always be down, especially when it comes to outreach. Monique Bryant, that's one of the family members. She's also on our board, so we appreciate you for stopping in. Jessica Watley, a cousin. Nicole, Miss Laura with the $5 Jerry. Paparazzi, Julia Richards. Kayla Shalon, she is a artist, a author, a lot of things. Miss Roberts, Richard, my brother to Richard, Tammy Hart, mother of a whole bunch of super athletes. Who else? So we don't seem to have any questions. I don't see any on Twitter.
So while he goes to looking for those questions, I just want to say one thing about us that people will find, and sometimes we do get criticized for it. I've been criticized for it. Is our transparency. I'm not perfect, like I've said before, and I'll say that plenty of times. We're not trying to be perfect. We didn't crack the code on how to be on the top of the list with Jesus. We're really just, two people, like I said before, who got tired of running. And there is a generation of people that are not our age, who may not look just like us, who may not have our body shape. I think a question just popped up. Who may not have our body shape.
Yes, it is.
But these are people who are trying to figure it out. And if you haven't figured out, if you don't know all the Bible scriptures, if you've never even read the Bible, you're still welcome. You're welcome. haven't read the Bible cover to cover, every single scripture by heart. But what I do know, I keep in my heart, and I have it when I need it. So we can, we can get you to get one scripture in your heart. Then that's your starting point. And we're all going to have a different journey. It's just that our journeys all lead to the kingdom, all lead to being the light. And some of you may watch for weeks and weeks and weeks and never join. And that's okay. Some of you may watch and you're not sure about joining. You may decide you want to become saved. You don't have to do it any particular way. While we are going to be considered probably untraditional, there are some things that are in us that are traditional that we just can't, get away from. They make up who we are as people. Another bonus is that we don't try to be different. We just kind of are different. And so that kind of works to our advantage because we're not trying to be, trendy. We're not trying to be different. We're just being who we are. We're just trying to walk in the light that God provided for us and trying to represent Him as best we can in our home, in our car, in the grocery store, in the community, in the school system where we work. We just are who we are. And we encourage you to be who you are.
Yep, so that pretty much wraps it up. We have a lot of surprises this Sunday. We hope that you tune in. If you go now, www.beattheram.com and subscribe, you'll get updates. Once you get to the point that you want to join, there's a button that says join. There's a lot going on. We want to give a special, huge shout out to our Faith Walk family. We are still family. We will forever be family. We'll forever be connected. We are out, but we're still in. We're distant, but we're still connected. We're still going to pour into Faith Walk. We have been fully endorsed and supported by Bishop Diane R. Collins. So this is not something that we just, we leave it. No, we left with the permission of our bishop because we want to make sure that we stay connected. So we ask that you all be blessed as you enjoy your Juneteenth. We got on our shirts. We're about to go barbecue. I think some king crab legs is coming, some shrimp, some steak, and some cake. So we will see you all. Y'all be blessed.
Have a great day.